This is Deductor, continuing the Unicorn Overlord playthrough. The last episode, we won our first battle, and this entire episode will be dedicated to doing stuff on the world stage. No battles here. So we got our first quest to expand a unit from 2 to 3. So let's go do it. Gotta go to the fort. Forts offer a number of vital services, allowing you to hire mercenaries and expand your units. Additional services will become available as you gain more renown. For now, try selecting Expand Units. Expanding units. Here you can exchange honors you've earned to increase the maximum size of a unit or unlock additional unit slots. So that currency honor, it's basically upgrades of various sorts, like overall upgrades. Honors are awarded for feats of valor and can be expended at forts for the services offered within. They can be earned by completing battle stages, making deliveries, defeating wandering enemies, and more. You also need honors to recruit more people. So let us expand Elaine's group from 2 to 3. Costs 10. The next tier is 50. We don't have 50, but you also have to have a certain amount of renown anyway. That's all we can do for now. Chloe, nicely done, Your Majesty. You can now assign more members to your units. Oh, and people who fight in the same unit will slowly grow closer. Rapport. As characters gain rapport with each other, their rapport level will increase. Characters with a high rapport level will receive a bonus that boosts their stats while assigned to the same unit. Reaching certain rapport levels with specific pairs of characters will also unlock a rapport conversation between them. Chloe, you should review the formation of our units whenever you have the chance, Your Majesty. You can access the unit formation screen by pressing plus to open the overworld map or by pressing X in the overworld. Aubin, mind if I grab your ear too? We nabbed some nice gear in that last battle. Wow, you did. Anyway, make sure to share the spoils, yeah? We need everyone armed to the teeth if we want to keep them breathing. Equipment. You can change character's equipment by pressing plus and selecting character list. Open the character list menu now and equip the character with the Vitality Talisman you obtain. Okay, so there's gearing as well. Let's go to our character list. Who should get the Vitality Talisman? Elaine already has something. Lex could use it. Or Chloe, or Aubin. But Lex would actually be on the front lines. So let's give him a Vitality Talisman. We can change this around later. Elaine, I always knew proper equipment was vital, but it truly does impact everything. Thank you, Chloe. Chloe, oh, we're not stopping there. Come on, let's head to the nearest town and buy ourselves something nice. We have the funds to spare after all. Here, I'll lead the way. And here we are, Your Majesty. This town has both an armorer and a provisioner for all your purchasing needs. I'll be sure to make good use of them. Then, thank you. Okay. It wants us to buy something. Towns. Towns provide your army an opportunity to purchase equipment, deliver items, station guards, and more. Complete deliveries to rebuild towns and restore their full functionality. Okay. Provisioners. Visit Provisioner to purchase consumable items. Like armors, each town's Provisioner has limited stock.
Here to shop? Or maybe to sell? Just say the word and it's yours.
So I used up all of those healing tonics. Now, I will say, when I play the game on lower difficulty, Expert, I use items, sure, but they didn't feel absolutely critical. I don't remember having to use all the healing tonics. Better buy 2 for good measure. You do get a lot of items as you play, and you can sell them, get a little bit of your money back. It's not very efficient, but I'll buy 2 just for good measure. No, we'll buy 1. Because there is something else I wanted to buy. Nope, I'm good.
Come back soon.
I want to go to the armor. Visit an armor when you want to purchase equipment. Keep in mind each town's armor has limited stock, and it's different. I don't think it explains it here, but it's different at every town. You can use the arrow buttons to purchase multiple pieces of equipment at the same time. Upon using Y, compare stats to purchase a piece of equipment, you'll be able to immediately equip it to a select character.
If it's steel you're after, you're in the right place.
Alright, so we got a variety of items. You can go through, but this particular blacksmith has only weapons. So there's basic generic weapons, like a recruit short sword, gives a little more experience, a little more health. These are still good, like we could use these, but this unwavering spear has a special ability. First of all, it's more accurate. It has an ability called True Thrust. You can see it by doing that. Attacks a column of enemy with a piercing strike with a hit rate of true. They will explain that soon, but suffice to say, this item is very useful. I'm going to give it to Clive, who
Done
is
and done.
our main attacker right now. And then I might buy some of this recruit stuff later. I can sell off the bronze spear of Clive.
Careful. You walk out, and it's gone forever.
Yep, like the shopkeep says, once you sell something, I think you can buy it back here or something like that, but once you leave the shop, whatever you sell is gone. There's no getting it back. Yeah, you can buy back here, but
Be seeing ya.
once you leave the shop, you can go back.
If it's steel you're after, you're in the right place.
As you can see, it is truly gone forever. The game warns you, just so you know.
Be seeing.
Lex, looks like we've got ourselves our gear sorted. Now, come on, Scarlet's waiting for us. Clive, could you spare a word first, my prince? We've received a report that Renault has situated himself in a large city in the eastern reaches of Corny. Our compatriot Miriam lies in wait not far from here. He awaits our arrival with great anticipation. Joseph, I ready a map and marked our destination, Your Highness. As for the route we take to reach it, I shall leave that decision in your capable hands. World map, you now have access to the world map. Press minus to open it. On the world map, you can review details of registered facilities and fast travel to those you have previously liberated. Joseph, I've also compiled an archive of the intelligence we possess at present. You may peruse it at your leisure. Fevriv Archive. You can now view the Fevriv Archive by pressing plus and selecting Library from the Overworld menu. Archive entries will be added as you progress through the story and as you register facilities on the world map. Joseph, Your Highness, given our current force of arms, mounting a rescue will likely prove an immense challenge. I suggest we first focus on liberating the people of this region, weakening Zenora's forces, increasing our renown. The greater fame our cause bears through the continent, the easier it will be to enlist others to our aid. Renown. Raising the Liberation Army's renown will increase the range of services available at ports. Renown can be earned by completing quests, rebuilding towns, and more. Okay, and then we have a main quest. We have all these people who have stuff to say. Let's talk to the townspeople first. Sailor, I think we'd be able to set sail if someone was kind enough to fix up the harbor. Courier, the walled city of Barbatimo to the southeast is ruled by a big, burly guy named Morden. The guards he's got at the gate look fierce as anything. I'm scared to even think about the place, much less go near it. It'd be a different story if I could use a bit of magic, though. Those bastards wouldn't know what hit them. Me. Alright, and then if you see a glowy thing on the world map, you can interact with it and get loot from the world map. There is a divine shard. Don't worry about that yet. You'll learn what those do soon enough. Soldier, if I were you, I'd stay far away from those ruins to the north. Zenora's got magic users up there. Used to be those same magic users were here at the fort, looking for work. I guess they found it. Mercenary, keep heading to the north here, and you'll run smack dab into some old ruins. I hear there's a magic artifact somewhere inside, practically bursting with ancient power. Alright, and there's stuff I can dig up. The cornut lumber, divine shards. You'll learn what those do soon enough. Lots of divine shards here. Mercenary. That bridge over there has seen better days. Destroyed and abandoned for nearly 10 years now. Shame too. It would be a straight shot to Grand Corinne if someone managed to fix it up. Townsperson. What am I doing? Looking for materials to help this place rebuild, of course. You deliver the items a town wants. You get a nice reward to make up for your trouble. Folks like us aren't much for the sword, but this is the only way we've got of putting food on the table. You should try making deliveries too, if you've of the mind. It's good, honest work, and you'll be helping folks rebuild. Foraging sites. Obtain materials by examining the foraging sites scattered throughout the overworld. Foraging sites will replenish after completing a number of battle stages and can be examined again in order to obtain further materials. So, we have a side quest, a overworld quest about making delivery to a town. So let's dig up the loot here. Go back to the town. Do the delivery. Making deliveries to towns will help rebuild lands that were devastated under Zenoiran rule. The requisite materials can be gathered from foraging sites in various regions of the overworld. So if I do this, I will not only gain 1 honor, 100 war funds, and 1 revival orb, like games say. The town will be fixed up. It's got the star there. It looks better on the world map. Townsperson. Our town has really bounced back thanks to the supply you gathered. Even the sailors seem ready to brave the seas again. And then there's an infinitely repeatable list of auxiliary requests. If you have these and deliver it, you get the rewards and they will refresh. This is more once you are flush for supplies. You can start just turning them in for additional rewards, but not something you do too early. Okay, let's see, what else do people have to say? Townsperson. Nowadays, folks all over the world are having a pretty rough go of things. Do me a favor, would you? Help them like you've helped us. And then Sailor. Got a ship here heading for Palavia Harbor, so we can go back. Liberation Soldier. It's good to see you, Your Highness. I'm pleased to report that you can station guards in towns you've liberated. After you station a guard, you can speak to them or even give them gifts if you like. Oh, and a guarded town will send funds to support the liberation each time we add to our territory. They'll also gather materials for us from any nearby foraging sites. And a guard can still join you in battle, so don't hesitate to station them all over February. Yeah, so there's literally no reason not to station a guard. Stationing guards, you can station a single member of your army in each town you liberated to serve as its guard. Upon completing a battle stage, your guard will earn gold for the army and gather materials from previously discovered nearby foraging sites. Characters serving as guards can still be deployed in battle stages, so feel free to post them in every town you liberate. Yep. So, let's put Holdrick in charge of this town.
But of course.
Got some cut flowers, honors, war funds. Giving gifts. Press R next to the station guard to give them a gift. Doing so will boost the recipient's rapport with Elaine. They will gain more rapport if you give them a gift they like. So I think Chloe briefly mentioned the rapport stuff. Ah, there we go. Rapport conversations. On this screen, you can view which character pairs have available rapport conversations. These conversations will become available once a pair of characters reach a certain rapport level. Some rapport conversations provide a reward once viewed, thus symbolizing the bond between your characters. So the conversations where there's a heart with sort of a hand shake icon, I think. Is that what it is? It's hard to tell. This type of heart is a rapport conversation. Sometimes you just see a heart that is empty. I believe if you achieve that, you still get a bonus. Like if Elaine and Aubin get to 2 hearts, Aubin and Elaine will each have a bonus in the combat group, but they don't talk to each other. You don't hear more lore about the characters. Whereas this type of heart up here, they have something to say to one another. And you have to not only reach that level, you also have to go to search, liberate certain locations. So, lots of options. Here, the The reason why I didn't want Hodrick and Travis together, there's two reasons. Number one, Hodrick and Travis are both tanks, so it really doesn't make sense to put them together. They're just different flavors of tanks. Secondly, they don't have any rapport conversations, as you can see. But I'm pretty sure if you go to their unit formation... Oh wait, let's read this stuff. Unit leaders. Every unit has a character set as its leader. The leader's class determines the unit's movement type and leader effect. To change a unit's leader, open the unit formation screen. Then move the cursor over the character you want as the new leader and press plus. You can also change a unit's leader after deploying them to a battle stage. Doing so will cost you 1 valor point. So try to decide on your desired leader before deploying. So if you go into their unit and look at the details, you can see they are still earning rapport with one another. They just don't have anything to say. But they can get the stat bonuses, but it's not as exciting to me. For me personally, I would want the characters to have something to say to one another, if at all possible. I'm gonna put Aubin in Elaine's group because Aubin right now only has something to say to Elaine. Eventually, we'll run into more characters with whom Aubin can have conversations. But yeah. Alright, so there are, of course, lots and lots for everyone to talk about. Eventually. And I want to try to prioritize putting characters in groups where they would have something to say to one another. Townsperson. Oh, I see you went and made a delivery yourself. Military feats are fine and dandy, but this is a great way to rack up some honors quick. Keep it up in other towns, and there will be ships in every harbor before you know it, and taverns in cities if you're lucky. Keep it up and help our ravaged lands get back on their feet. Yep. And then do you just say the same thing? Keep making deliveries and help our ravaged land get back on their feet. Yep. Alright, before I talk to everyone else here, let's take the boat. So we're back on Palavia Harbor. The sailor's just talking about a ship. We got some sardines, apparently. Old woman, Prince Elaine, you've returned to us. This won't aid much in the deeds you've set out to accomplish, but I'd like you to have this. Another revival orb. They really want us to revive our characters once they get incapacitated. Prince Elaine, all of Palavia prays for your success and safety. Alright, this town does not need fixing. It's already fixed up. They just have the auxiliary requests. So let's station thinking Chloe can guard this one.
I'll keep the peace, Your Majesty.
And let's give her a cut flower. So you can see their rapport went up by 30. Now, different characters like different gifts. 30 is like just the baseline rapport, so she doesn't really like flowers. Chloe, is this for me, Your Majesty? She seems surprised. So she's not a flower girl. We gotta find a better gift for her. But yeah, I'm just running around here gathering all the loot. Sometimes you see structures and you might be able to interact with them. Not this one though. There's a chicken. That chicken's gonna be relevant in a little bit. Empowering draught. That's a different type of item. Can't interact with this stuff. This place really brings me back. We used to play here all the time when we were kids, remember? Yep, and there's something else of significance there. Nothing to do in that church. Soldier, leave patrols of the island to us, Your Highness. We'll see Palavia through this one way or another. Ooh, got another healing tonic small. Could come in handy. Okay, I'll deal with the chickens soon enough. First, I'm just trying to get all the loot. Townsperson. Oh, what a day. I don't mean to wallow before my chickens escape from their coop this morning. Elaine, it's only natural that you worry about such a thing. We'd be glad to round them up if we have the chance. So Elaine is literally, we're gonna also station Lex here, but Elaine is literally the most generic good guy character in an RPG you could possibly imagine. Townsperson, my chickens are far too sheltered to face the cruel reality of this world. Please get them back from me. He will do literally any minor quest, including capturing chickens. Yep, that's one of them. There should be 3 remaining. He's supposed to be the leader of an army, but of course, leaders of the army go around capturing chickens. If you ever play Baldur's Gate 3, there's a chicken chasing in the Goblin camp pretty early in the game. This is literally what this quest is about. Alright, the chicken will respawn if we move like out of range. There you are, chicken. Well, that should be all of them. I should return to the farmer at my first convenience. Let's do a quick travel. Zooming. Townsperson, what a kind soul you are. You found all my chickens. Please take this. It's the least I can do for you. A golden egg, honors, and a free meal ticket. Meal ticket will be relevant later, but the golden egg is relevant right now. Townsperson, thank you again for all your help. We'll make a fine king one day. I'm more than certain of it. Apparently, if you find help a farmer get his chickens back, they love you for that. So the golden egg is an item. This unit's user's unit earns plus 100% gold. You can also sell it for like 30,000 gold, but unlike in Battle Brothers, you actually make it's worth equipping this item. You get a lot of item slots, and you can sell it for 30,000 gold anytime you want. But in the meantime, you might as well be earning money. It's gonna earn plenty, don't worry. And money, I found at first it seems like you're swimming money.
If it's steel you're after, you're in the right place.
And you have nothing, like you don't even have enough to use your money on stuff. But as I've played, it turns out money is extremely, let's just say extremely valuable later on, like in the late game. And you can't have enough of it. So I would still like to buy some recruit swords to get people a little more damage. But I can only buy 2 items right now.
Be seeing ya.
Also, what is at the other town? I can't remember what's at these first towns.
If
Is
it's
it all the
steel
same?
you're after, you're in the right place.
Kind of. There's shields here. I would say the weapons are probably more important. There's also a sanguine blade. You can heal after attacking. But we don't need that. Let's buy some...
If it's steel you're
Let's
after.
buy a better sword for Elaine. He also gets a little more experience. And a little more hit points.
Done and done.
I already gave a better spear to Clive. And then Travis doesn't need to do damage. Aubin has a better axe already. Chloe's, she's already earning some bonus experience. Eldrick doesn't really attack. He doesn't need to. Let's give Lex one of these swords so he can like get a little more experience.
Done.
Okay, we're gonna need more money. Don't worry, there are ways to get more money. Liberation Soldier. Thanks a lot for stationing a guard here. The guard of town will send funds to support the liberation each time we add to our territory. Also gather materials for us from any nearby foraging site. Okay, a lot more quests. Soldier, at forts you can hold a mock battle to pit 2 of your units against each other. It's a great chance to see how your units fare in actual combat, so it's worth giving it a try every now and then. Hiring mercenaries isn't the only thing you can do at a fort. You can also increase the number of units you're able to command. It costs honors, of course, but it's well worth it in my book. Looks like you don't have enough renown to make it happen, though. Try coming back once people know you a little better. Yep. And then we can do our mock battle. We do that, we get some extra honors and war funds, so that's good. That's I want to expand another unit. We could have a 3-on-3. Let's put, you know what? Let's split out our characters who can actually do damage. We'll put Clive here. And we'll put Hodrick and Elaine up here. And let's see how this goes. So, mock battles. Here you can test how units perform against each other in battle. The mock battle will begin once you've selected both units. There's something I want to change. I want to turn Hodrick's heavy cover back on. I think that was the main thing I disabled. Okay. We'll have Elaine and Lex fight it out. I actually have no idea who's going to win here.
I am your shield.
Well, definitely Elaine. But neither one can hurt the other too much. Oh, poor Lex. Okay. Lex always getting smashed in the face. It's okay, he just gets back up. Mock battles are pretty good, huh? Try doing one whenever you get a new skill, or just when you want to test something out. Speaking of testing things out, you can talk to these units with the sword symbol on them. This is a housecarl. You've got the look of a guy who doesn't know the first thing about housecarls. Be glad to fill you in, and even spar if you want to give it a try. Anyhow, housecarls like me are known far and wide for their high attack power. And I know this is just a little sparring, but don't expect me to hold back. Well, what do you say? So if you can defeat the unit, you get a little, you get a bonus. Like you get some money. So let's see if we can do it if we use Clive. Put Elaine in the front. I doubt we have enough, yeah. What if I changed Clive's tactic to use the assaulting lance, so if he defeats enemies, you get an AP back. Talk about tactics more later. There we go. Okay. Maybe I should talk about the tactics now. So, there's a more in-depth tutorial that explains it quite a bit later in the game, because early on, it really doesn't want you to worry about it, and I think for good reason. But maybe I'll just do a simple explanation of this. The way your characters choose abilities to use is based on this tactics screen. And you can have up to 8 commands. You'll want a mix of active and passive skills, of course. Right now, Clive only has the one passive skill, so that's easy. He just has the quick guard. I want to talk about the active skills. Why did that change when I swapped the Assaulting Lance up above True Dress? The way characters choose a skill to use is it always goes in order. So it'll evaluate order the first line, and if it's possible to execute the first order, it will always do it. And then it'll go on to the next line. So for example, if I say Assaulting Lance, I can only use it during on a row with 3 combatants. It doesn't make sense, but let's just say I do that. Clive will only use his ability if there is at least a row of enemies that have 3 members or more. It's actually impossible to have more than 3 members, so it's 3 members in a row. And well, if the formation doesn't have 3 members, you'll never ever use Assaulting Lance. The way True Dress works right now is it prioritizes Scout. Prioritize means he'll try to target a scout if possible, but if not, he'll just target his default, which is the enemy like closest to him, closest or in front of him. Since there are no scouts, he would just attack those house girls. Now, you could, instead of choosing prioritize, do only scout. In fact, let's do it this way to demonstrate how it works. So right now, I have it prioritizing scout. And the preview is saying I do 91 damage and I take 41, and I can't finish them off. Well, if I change the tactics to, instead of prioritize scout, only use it on scouts, the first line is not true in this battle because there are no enemy scouts. I go to the second line, which is assaulting units. And you can see that makes perfect sense as logic for a battle. He should use True Strike on scouts so they can't dodge. That will be explained later. But yeah, you want to use True Strike on scouts if at all possible. Otherwise, using the lance on these basic infantry in a regular attack will do just fine. So let's get this battle kicked off. So you see how Clive is going after the lowest hit point enemy? He must get a crit here. Yeah, nice. Then we got the parting blow. Finish them off. Oscar. Feels nice taking a good hit every now and then. By the way, my parting blow skill gives me one last attack at the end of every battle. Try hiring a house girl if you like the sound of catching enemies with their guards down. Oh, and I'll be here whenever you want to try something out. If you can fully defeat one of the NPCs with the sword icon, you'll see a little green check mark, and you get 2,000 war funds from that. So nice little bonus, but you have to completely defeat them. It can't be enough to just win the battle. There are some other enemies up here. I can tell you right now, we're not going to be able to defeat this guy, for example, this hoplite. Ah, Your Highness, do you have any measure? Right? Hoplite. Ah, Your Highness, do you have measures to deal with any hoplites you may encounter on your journey? If not, I would suggest utilizing a house girl in one of your units. After all, their smash skill is capable of weakening an enemy's defenses. You're more than welcome to try it out on me if you wish. I highly doubt Auburn, yeah. Even, he's using a different skill, not Crush, but I'm pretty sure even if he uses Smash, it's not gonna work. They have, like, phenomenal physical defense. You need specialist classes to deal with the hoplites, like Magic, or, like, something called a Warrior who does, like, insane physical damage. So, and then Thieves here. Thief, me? I'm a thief, and I'm real good at dodging attacks and holding down the front row. Wanna try me or what? Now this one, in theory, Clive could get, there's two of them, and he can only like kill one of them with that True Strike ability. So, and then I bet the other thief just dodges everything. So we need, again, specialist counters to deal with them that we will find soon enough. Alright, but let's go talk to everyone else. Town girl. Apparently other people can't see it, but sometimes I come across a strange faint light twinkling on the ground. You might want to take a closer look if you ever see one yourself. Yep, these are the items. We got a smoked nuts from that. You can loot items. We will avoid this town down there for now. And then there's the ruins, Your Majesty, and found an urn of luminous corn ash. Apparently it holds some kind of divine power, the rumor said to people. Okay, luminous corn ash. Luminous corn ash imbued with the divine power of rebirth can be used on the overworld to restore combatants who have retreated from battle. Okay, so the permadeath thing. On this difficulty, if your squad is completely defeated, I think you can't use the characters again unless you use that item. On the lower difficulty, this thing's called a Hallowcorn Ash, and it gives you extra valor in battle, which is very, very, very strong. So I won't get extra valor in battles, huh? Alright. Well, that could be rough. Soldier. Mercenaries have different specialties based on their class. Me, I'm a soldier. My long thrust skill can pierce through a single column enemies with relative ease. Oh, and I can use first aid to heal an ally at the end of the battle. Those are the most important skills we've got. Be sure to take note of such things when hiring mercenaries. Mercenary. At a fort, you can exchange honors to increase the number of units in your army, as well as the maximum size of each unit. Well, assuming you've got the renown for it. You folks a new pack of mercenaries? If so, you should really think about working on your renown. To put it plain, renown tells you how much people all over the world know your name. And no self-respecting merc's gonna join up with someone they've never heard of. So yeah, win some battles, rebuild a few towns, and spread your name far and wide through Devrith. What else do you have to say? Same thing. Okay, so we have accumulated a little more money. I have these novel military treatises that can give extra experience to people, but I'll wait a little bit before using them. Don't need to use them yet. You can go buy some better weapons, I think. Or shields or whatnot. So
If it's steel you're after, you're in the right place.
you can buy Travis a better sword. He doesn't really do damage. You can buy Chloe a better spear. You can buy 2 items. Don't have any bows, don't have any more. You can use staffs. Why don't we split the difference? We'll buy a spear for Chloe.
Done and done.
She should gain insane amounts of experience. And then a sword for Travis. Yeah, he does do some attacks. Although, don't I loot a sword in the next battle? I seem to remember that's really good for him. Maybe we'll save a little money. We sell off all the bronze stuff. We don't need that.
Careful. You walk, be seeing ya.
Curse these black talon scum.
You supposed to be the town guard? Sorriest sight I ever seen. Now go on and run home if you know what's good for you.
As if I'd ever cede to vulgar bandits such as you. The Father shall strike you down for your sins.
Not today, you won't. But I'll let you take that up within yourself. Me? I've had enough divine judgment to last a lifetime. You know the drill, boys. Grab anything that's not nailed to the floorboards.
Ralph, over here. You alright? Town girl, I believe so, yes. Oh, Ralph, I didn't think the Black Talons had gotten this far. Town girl, if I may, sir, who are you? Name's Ralph, with the Cornea Militia. I've been tracking these bandits for a while now. This is where it's led me. I'll go get somewhere safe. I'll handle this. Town girl, oh sirs, you have to help us, please. Clive, I have a bad feeling about this. What's happened here? There's a pack of bandits raided our village in the middle of the night, sir. A nice man named Ralph came and saved us, but he bid us flee, then went off to face them all on his own. Elaine, that doesn't sound good. Clive, it isn't. Order and justice hold little meaning under the cruel dominion of Zenora, Your Highness. We'll need to liberate this region if we wish to proceed with any semblance of safety. Elaine, indeed, it would be ill done of us to abandon these people in their darkest hour. Town girl, oh, thank you, sirs. Okay, so we have a side quest, Unliberated Regions. Regions you've not yet liberated are patrolled by enemy soldiers, preventing them from being explored safely. Completing battle stages will liberate enemy regions, thus securing the area and driving out hostile forces. We can, of course, go fight the units, and if you can fully defeat them, they are cleared off the world map. You can also liberate the region, and they'll be cleared off. This group is my strongest group, and we're not able to fully defeat them. There's no skull. Did I, what's your tactic again, Clive? Yeah, your tactic's good. So, you're just not critting, basically. But if you win, at least they'll be stunned for a little bit. I'm just gonna skip this. They're not as interesting. And you can at least run somewhere else in the meantime. Town girl. I only pray that rough fellow is alright. A girl. All the soldiers in town got beat by those bandits. Yes, there are some nasty bandits here. So we have our next side quest. You can also get apparently a recruit shortbow and a beckoning bell and a Cornea militia standard as a reward. But yeah, that's most of the unit formations and rearranging items I wanted to do here. Travis is all alone by himself. He's quite good, actually. I wonder if I put Travis with Elaine's group, that would work well. And Hodrick will have to be by himself. Hodrick would actually be quite strong against these enemies. We just need a little more damage. Maybe I put a Hodrick in instead of Travis. If I recall, Travis likes Chloe and Joseph, and then Hodrick likes Clive. Elaine, of course, can talk to anyone. Try not to use Joseph because he does not gain any experience. I could put Hodrick and Clive together. That was what I wanted to do originally, but I don't know if they I think this might be a case where I can only really deploy 2 characters. Or 2 groups. I don't have enough to fill out the last group. Maybe we'll put a Joseph in it in case we need him for whatever reason. I'm gonna do that. Hodrick might as well like go there too. But a group like this could be decent, and then I would make Clive the leader so that this unit down here can move way quicker. I almost feel like you need 2 tanks here. You should pretty much always have Elaine as the leader. He gained more valor points when defeating enemy units. It's important to have as many valor points as possible. Yeah, we want Travis for the golden egg. And then Hodrick will just have to chill in the back. And then Vitality Talisman on Lex. He has 12 physical defense, really? Is it that bad? It's really bad for a tank character. Clive has 14. Lane has... Oh, Lane only has 12. Really? Hodrick has 20. Hodrick actually has more defense than Joseph. That's... I know Joseph's stats were like pretty bad, but it's actually kind of shocking how bad they really are for a level 20 character. Okay. We don't have any other items to equip. We'll try something like this. We can always rearrange the formation and so forth. But there is one last thing I want to do. in our items, I have this thing called a Dew of Strength. A mysterious droplet brimming with power. Increase the target's physical attack by 1, up to 5 uses. So we need to stack that on Clive. So I'll give it to him. And now his physical attack should be 25, which should be by far the highest. It's actually not by far the highest. He's just a little higher than everyone else. Oh no, Aubin is the highest. But the thing is, Clive does double damage to infantry, and at this stage of the game there is a lot of infantry. So, and knights are all about like aggression and doing lots of damage. So this will do just fine. From the detail screen, you can also see what rapport everyone has with everyone else. You can see Travis has a lot to say to Elaine, but not anything to say to Aubin. Here we can see Chloe and Lex have something to say to one another and to Clive. So that's good. And I'm pretty sure Hodrick has something to say to Joseph if we end up having to deploy them. They're kind of a backup. We'll put a Hodrick in front. I didn't realize like just how tanky Hodrick was. I mean, I know they're tanky, but it's easy to forget exactly how tanky. Then we have a variety of items for the next battle as well. And then we have maybe a little time. I might read a entry or two periodically from the Febrif archive. Here you can learn all about the lore. As you can see, there's a ridiculous amount of entries to everything. I think what might be nice is to learn a little bit about the places we've liberated. So, Soligi, a coastal fort in southwest Cornea. Though quite small in size, mercenaries often gather there in search of an honest day's work. Overlord harbor town in southwest Cornea. Once little more than a sleepy fishing village, it grew into a thriving burg thanks to Elenia's effort to bolster the local economy. Fort Talasan, a small old fort located in southwest Cornea. Clive acquired it in secret to give the Liberation Army their first base of operations, outfitting its halls the same as any other fort in order to avoid drawing suspicion. Okay, and we don't know of any other locations yet in all these places. We can look at Palavia Town in Albion, small town on the island of Palavia, not far from its local cathedral. Most residents have an intense faith in the Orthodoxy's teachings and are quite grateful for the lives of peace it affords. Palavia harbor town on the island of Palavia and the most populous settlement upon its shores, with docks capable of accommodating larger ships and frequent voyages to and from Overlord Harbor. The street tend to remain vibrant and bustling. I think the stuff about the holy, these are like categories of people and whatnot. Maybe we read up about some of the events. So the prologue, we've already seen that, about a general named Valmore betrayed the kingdom, taking over the capital. I'm just summarizing here. Elenia confronts Valmore and then falls. Joseph flees with Elaine, and then Valmore is now Galerius, yada yada. Unicorn Ring. This one's a little more interesting. A solitary girl on the Isle of Palavia, far removed from Cornea's shores, tends the altar of the unicorn and maiden. Now a boy of 17, Elaine has spent 10 peaceful years on Palavian soil, using that time to hone his skill with a sword. But when a ship bearing Zenoran colors sail into the harbor, the tides of change are certain to come with it. At the command of Hodrick, former aide to Queen Elenia, Zenoran soldiers pour forth from the ship, dock at the Palavian harbor. While praying at the cathedral, the priestess Scarlet is beset by Zenoran soldiers. After Elaine cuts the enemy down, the pair regroups with Joseph and makes for the harbor. As Joseph prepares to execute the once loyal Hodrick, Elaine comes forth and frees Hodrick's mind with the blinding light emanating from his ring. The man then reveals that Galerius bears the power to manipulate the hearts of men. On leaving Palavia, Joseph tells Elaine that there are many others who wish to see Cornea restored. Having long prepared for this day to come, Elaine vows to avenge his mother's death at Galerius' hands and deliver Cornea to its former lord. Then we have the call to action. This is where Renault strikes at the ranks and rides off with Scarlet in tow. And then a knight named Clive, under Joseph's employ, saves the group and brings them to the nearby fort. While Elaine is anxious to set out and rescue Scarlet, the spy Travis insists they'll first need to deal with the mercenaries barring their path. The defeated mercenary Aubin is captured, but buys time for his companions to escape in the process. After exchanging words with Elaine, he finds himself amused by the Liberation's lofty aims and ultimately agrees to join in their fight. Clive warns Elaine that attempting to rescue Scarlet at their present strength would be a fool's errand, and Joseph explains how he spent the better part of the last decade forming the Liberation Army, which will free Cornea, with Elaine as its spearhead. Alright. Solitary Resistance. A bandit group known as the Black Talons raids Coquillageville town. After their leader Gamel then dispatches the guard, he orders his subordinates to steal anything of value from the townspeople. And we can even see who he is. There are biographies of all these characters. Let's see if we can find Gamel in here somewhere. Probably being Cornea. Gamel, the boss of the Black Talons and a vile rogue who has no qualms about lying, stealing, or even murdering to get what he's after. With his keen wit and strong leadership, the Black Talons have grown greatly under his watch. Then we can read up on all the other characters, maybe at a different time. Game tips, this is like a summary of all the help advice we saw. No reason, I think we've read pretty much all of this stuff. Example units, valor, enemy strength, garrison effects, reinforcements, runes, stage menu, fast forward, forts, renown, honors, mock battles. I don't know if there's anything here that we haven't actually seen. I sometimes find myself referencing the battle stuff because it's not always obvious how some things work. Like here, the buffs and debuffs and the afflictions. So debuffs is like an overall category, and then afflictions are like a subcategory of specific types of debuffs. All afflictions are debuffs, but not all debuffs are afflictions. And it matters because there are skills that interact with either debuffs or just afflictions. But not yet. We'll worry about a lot of this stuff later. Oh, all the classes have their own entries. Like Lord. As a Lord, Elaine's leadership and proficiency with the sword makes him a formidable combatant and staunch defender. And you can see his strategy can fight equally well in either role. Lean edge lets him heal as he attacks. Lacks major weaknesses, may have trouble against cavalry because they do double damage against infantry. Fighters, that's Lex. They are a class most effective against hunters. Sturdy defenses help them protect allies in the back row. Yeah, so they can defend allies, but they are vulnerable to this thing called a warrior and match attacks. Soldiers, that's Chloe. They can hit an entire column with piercing attacks. They also have low defenses, so position them in the back row. So they're very good against cavalry. I'm pretty sure the thrust does extra damage against cavalry. Soldier weaknesses, yeah, they're not good against tanky units. Before I see that, is there... Oh, damage. Okay, this thing is pretty important. The base damage dealt by an attack is calculated as follows. Physical damage equals physical attack minus physical defense times physical potency. Magic is the same, but for magic potency. And then you adjust it for guarding critical hits, etc. But I want to point out that the base damage is, let's say Elaine attacks Hildrick. So Elaine has 23 attack, Hildrick has 20. So that would be 3 damage. But then you have to modify it by the potency. And you can see Lean Edge has a physical potency of 100. Hit rate of 100%. You just multiply that by the accuracy. And someone like Travis with 127%, or with 70 dodge, 70 evasion, I would only end up having like a 50% hit chance on Travis with him. But I wanted to select someone else like Chloe here. So the long thrust attacks column enemies with a piercing strike. Cavalry targets cannot guard against this attack. Grants plus 50 potency versus cavalry targets. So it's extra good against cavalry, but it's only really good if Chloe actually has enough physical attack to overcome most of the defense. Then it does amazing. But if the cavalry's defense is really high, that extra potency doesn't even matter. Like, if you're only doing 3 damage, an extra 50% of that is 1 more damage. But if you're doing 10 damage, extra 50% of that, that's a lot. So that's how like the potency thing works. You want to have really good base stats, and then potency is like a little. Once you have really big stat differential, the potency is like a huge bonus. Otherwise, doesn't really matter very much. You also notice this True Thrust has only 80% potency, so it does less damage, but it has the True Strike, which there's a help text entry about it, but the game will also explain that later. We are coming up close to the 1 hour mark, and I am getting rather tired, and we are ready to get to the next battle. So I think this is where we will end it, and then we'll start the next episode with the next battle. Thank you for watching. Until next time.